Good day, class. I'm Sir Archibald B. Claro. You can call me Sir Vard. And today, we will be tackling a new topic. It is all about the bonds and valuation of bonds. Now, these are the learning objectives of this um, lesson. At the end of the lesson, students should be able to explain the concept of bonds and compute the purchase price, bond premium, and discount, and simple amortization of bond premium. Appreciate the importance of bonds as a financial instrument for raising funds and making investments decisions. Solve bonds valuation problems accurately and construct a simple bond premium amortization schedule using the given data. Now, before anything else, I want you to um, I want to ask you all that what is bond? And do you have any idea what is bond? Or do you know what is bond in investment? Well, if none, if you are not familiar, now I'll give you uh, brief, not brief, a context. I'll give you a introduction context. What is bonds? Now here, I have here. This is an example of bonds where ABC government, ABC government plans to um, build a new public hospitals, as you can see here, worth 500 million. But ABC government doesn't have enough funds. ABC government don't have that 500 million. So, anong kanyang gagawin? Anong gagawin ng ABC government? Mangungutang. Yes, mangungutang. But who? Kanino? Ba mangungutang siya pero sa ibang paraan. Gagamitin niya ang bond. The ABC government issues bonds where investors will buy that bonds. As you can see here, ABC government issues bonds with a face value of 10,000, bond rate of 6% per year, and maturity is to 10 years or the redemption date. Now, Mr. Guapo is an investor. He purchased one bond. Now, dito papasok yung concept ng bond. Since si Mr. Guapo wants to earn because he is an investor, he will buy a one bond. And paano siya magkakaroon ng income or sa pamamagitan ng coupon payments. Coupon payments, this is the interest. Because, diba, binili na niya yung 10,000 na bonds. Now, ito yung annual coupon payment where bumili siya ng 10,000 at mayroong 6% per year. So meaning mayroon siyang 600 per year. As you can see dito, year 1 makakatanggap siya ng coupon payments 600. Pagka year 2 naman until year 10. Na dito papasok si interesting part ni bonds. Yung binili niya yung amount ng binili niya ay mababalik sa kanya. Meaning, pagkatapos ng year 10, ibabalik ni ABC government yung 10,000 niya. So, bale, yung 600 every year of coupon payments plus the 10,000. That's how the bonds works. Now, let's proceed to what really bonds is. A bond is a promise to pay the redemption value S at a specified date, sorry, called the redemption date or D, at the redemption rate. In the meantime, the bondholders receive periodic interest payments, known as coupon payments, at regular intervals. These coupon payments are based on the face value F of the bond multiplied by the periodic interest rate. The periodic rate is obtained by dividing the bond rate by the number of interest period per year. So these are the key terms mentioned. Redemption value is the amount paid to the bondholder when the bond matures. Ito redemption value, ito yung value na makukuha niya pagkatapos ng, let's say, 10 years. Pagkatapos ng 10 years, ito yung makukuha niya. So, redemption date, ito yung 10 years. Redemption rate, the percentage of the face value paid at maturity. Coupon payments, regular interest payment made during the life of the bond. For example, yung sa kay Mr. Guapo, di ba may 600. So, those are the coupon payments. Face value, the stated or quoted value of the bond. Periodic interest rate is the interest rate per payment period computed as R is equals to B over M, where B is the annual bond rate and M is the number of interest payment periods per year. So, to have a better understanding, let's have an example about how to get the what do you call this, the coupon payments. Sorry. Wait. There is another coupon payment and redemption value. Magkaiba kasi itong dalawa. When we say coupon payments, the coupon payment is the periodic interest paid to the bondholder, like yung 600, like kung 10,000, 10 years, tapos every year babayaran ka, that is, yung ibabayad sa'yo, yung tawag yung coupon payment. We have the formula for coupon payment is C is equals to FR. We have C, coupon payment, F is the face value of the bond, and the periodic interest rate. Now, redemption value naman is, the redemption value is the amount paid to the bondholder at the maturity rate. Diba, yung coupon payment is, sa loob ng 10 years, babayaran ka every year. So, depende yun basta every year. So, yan yung coupon payment. Yung kabubuan naman, pagkatapos ng 10 years, pagka 10 years, babayaran ka ng redemption value. Yan yung tawag sa redemption value. Where we have the formula S is equals to FD, where the redemption value, face value, and redemption rate. If the bond is redeemed at 100% par value, D is equals to 1, then S is equals to F times 1 is equals to F. Now, let's have an example. Example problem. Now, problem 1. The city government issues bonds to finance the construction of a new bridge. Each bond has a face value of 50,000, an annual bond rate of 8%, and pays interest annually. The bond will be redeemed at 100% of its face value after 15 years. Now find the annual coupon payments, the redemption value at maturity. Now, gumamit siya ng bonds to finance the construction of a new bridge. Now, the question is define the coupon payment and the redemption value at maturity. Now, I will show a video. This is my solving and I attached it at sa aking PPT and yeah.
In problem 1, we are asked to find the coupon payment and the redemption value. Now, first, we will list down our the given values. So we have our face value is equals to 50,000, an annual bond rate of 8%. So we have P is equals to 8%, and pays interest annually. So we have M is equals to 1. The bond will be redeemed at 100% of its face value. So we have small d 100%. Now, after 15 years, so we have a redemption date 15 years. Now, our problem is to find the annual coupon payment, where we are going to find the C, coupon payment. Now, in finding the coupon payment, we have the formula C is equals to F R. Now, first, what is our R? We can solve our R basically with the formula R is equals to B over M. Since we have 8%, 8% is 0.08 over 1. Basically, it is 0.08 or 8%. So this is now the value of our R. We know that our F is 50,000. 50,000 times 0.08 or R. So 50,000 times 0.08, we have 4,000 pesos. This is now our coupon payment. Now the second is the redemption value. Redemption value. In finding the redemption value, we have the formula of S is equals to F D. Now our F again is 50,000, right? Times our D here is 100%, or basically it is 1. So meaning our redemption value is 50,000 pesos. Now, therefore, the annual coupon payment is equals to 4,000 pesos, and the redemption value at maturity is equals to 50,000 pesos. That is for problem number 1. We are asked to find the coupon.
Now, I have here a problem number 2. The national government issues bond to fund the construction of a new airport. Each bond has a face value of 100,000, an annual bond rate of 10%, and pays interest semi-annually. The bond will be redeemed at 105% of its face value after 20 years. Now, again, find the coupon payments every 6 months and the redemption value at maturity. So, let's view the video of my solving on how to solve this problem.
Payment every 6 months and the redemption value at maturity. First, we will list down the given. We have the face value is equals to 100,000, and the annual bond rate, or B, is equals to 10%, and pays interest semi-annually, meaning M is equals to 2. the bond will be redeemed at 105%. So meaning RD is 105% of its face value after 20 years. So it, the redeem date is 20 years. After 20 years. Now we're asked again to find the coupon payment or the C, where the formula of C is F times R. Now first, let's find the value of R. R is equals to B over M, where RB is 10% over RM is semi-annually, so 2. 10% over 2 is 5%, or basically 0.05. We will substitute it to our formula. F is 100,000 pesos times 0.05 or the 5%. C now is equals to 5,000 pesos every 6 months. That is now the value of the coupon payment. Now the second is the redemption value. Finding the redemption value, we have S is equals to FD. So basically our F is 100,000 times RD is 105%. We will convert it into decimal, so it will be 1.05 now. Multiply, our S will be 105,000 pesos. This is now the value for redemption value.
Now, what does it mean is that the coupon payment, which is the 5,000, 'di ba, may ah sa loob ng 20 years, may semi-annually na pays interest semi-annually. So ito yung coupon payment. So bali every 6 months magbabayad si national government ng 5,000 doon sa investor. Tapos pagkatapos ng 20 years, magbabayad na naman siya ng 105,000 pagkatapos ng 20 years. So that is the concept of coupon payment and the redemption payment value. Now let's proceed to another subtopic, which is the bond valuation. Now, but what is bond valuation? When let's say bond valuation, this is it is a process where you will buy the bond, but that bond, no, not you will buy. You will sell that, you will sell the bond na imong gipalit, pero humana ang pila ka tuig, like nakuhaan na o pila ka tuig ang katong kuan. For example, let's this para to have a better illustration. So bond evaluation, what is bond worth today? That is the basic question for when we say bond valuation. What is bond worth today? So it is the continuation to our um, context or situation kanina. As the ABC government issued a bond has a face value of 10,000, then annual coupon rate is 6%, and The maturity is 10 years. The bonds pay 600 every year and 10,000 at maturity. Now, as you can see, Mr. Guapo here, the investor, 'di ba nag-buy na siya ng bonds, 'di ba? And here, as you can see, gusto pagkatapos ng 3 taon, yes, 3 taon, gusto na niyang ibenta yung bond niya. So meaning, sa 3 taon, may natitira pang 6 years and the redemption value, di ba? May makukuha pagkatapos ng 10 years. Now, gusto niyang ibenta ang kanyang bond kang Maria. Now, ang tanong, magkano yung yung natitirang uh, coupon payments and redemption value? How much should I pay for this bond? Yan ang sabi ni Miss Maria. This is what bond valuation determines. The fair purchase price of the bond today. Now, again, ito yung what does bond valuation consider? It is the remaining coupon payment, the redemption value, and the yield rate. Expect a certain rate of return per year. So the key idea of the valuation bond is bond valuation is to find the present value of all future cash flows using the yield rate, because money today is worth more than the same amount in the future. So that is the concept of the bond valuation. So let's proceed to the bond valuation is the process, again, to determining the purchase price of a bond and interest period before the redemption date. Given the redemption value, the periodic coupon rate, and the yield rate for the entire investment period. The yield rate per interest period is obtained by the dividing the annual yield rate by the number of interest periods per year. The yield rate is also called the investment rate because it represents the rate of return earned by the investors from purchasing the bond. The purchase price is equal to the sum of the present value of the redemption value and the present value of the periodic coupon payments, which form an annuity. Now, bond valuation, ito yung formula niya, which is P is equals to S times 1 plus I to the power of negative N plus R times F times 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative N divides I. Now, symbol use where P is equals to purchase price of the bond, S is redemption value, F is the face value, R is the periodic coupon rate, I is yield rate per interest period, Y is annual yield period, and M is number of the interest period per year, and N is the number of interest period remaining until the redemption. Now, sir, paano kunin yung yield rate per interest? Dito yon. I is equals to Y over M, or ah, I, paano kukunin pala yung I, yield rate per interest period, is ito yung I is equals to Y over M, or annual yield rate over the number of the interest period per year. Now, let's have an example applying this formula. Now, sample problem.
For solution example,
Now, I have here an example 1. We have a 50,000 bond bears 80% annual interest and is redeemable at 105% in 8 years. If an investor desires a 6% annual yield, find the purchase price of the bond. Now, I'll show you the solution, the video solution of mine.
Number one, we are asked to find the purchase price of the bond. Now first, we will list down the given. We have F is equal to 50,000 pesos, B is equals to 8%, since it is annual interest, we have M is equals to 1, and redeemable at 105%, so basically D is equals to 105% in 8 years. And 8 years, we have D is equals to 8 years. And if an investor desires a 6% annual yield, meaning we have Y is equals to 6%. What is the purchase price of the bond? We know that the formula for purchase price of the bond is P is equals to S 1 plus I to the power of negative n plus R times F 1 minus 1 minus I plus I to the power of negative n over I. Now we have in our formula we have S, N, I, and R, right? So we need first to find them. So the since we have S, basically S is the redemption value. We have the formula S is equals to FD, and FD F is 50,000 and our D is 105% or basically 1.05. We have S is equals to 52,500. Now how about our rate? We have R, right? And we know that rate is B over M, where B is 8% over M is annual is 1. So basically, it is 8% or 0.08. And our J, or the yield rate per period, so we have I is equals to, not J, sorry, it's I. I is equals to annual yield rate over M. Annual yield rate, we have Y, diba? Y over M. So basically, it is 6% over 1 or 0.06. Now let's substitute these values to our formula. P is equals to S 50,000. I know 52,000, sorry. 52,500 times 1 plus 0, our I is 0.06 to the power of, what is our N? We know that N is the number of interest periods remaining until redemption. So we have D is 8 years. Basically 8 times 1. So 8, negative 8 plus R rate is 0.08 times F 50,000 times 1 minus 1 plus RI is 0.06, sorry, 0.06 to the power of negative 8 over 0.06. So let's substitute this to our calculator. So
2500 times 1 plus 0.06 to the power of negative 8 plus 0.08 times 50,000 times 1 minus 1 plus 0.06 to the power of negative 8, 0.0 over 0.06. So the purchase price is, ayun, P is equals to 57,778.32. This is now the purchase price of the bond. We're still going to find.
Now, the second example, sorry.
We're still going to find.
Now, the second example is a 1,000 bond, 100,000 bond bears 10% interest compounded semi-annually and is redeemable at 110% after 12 years. If the purchaser wants a 9% yield converted semi-annually, determine the purchase price of the bond. So let's view the video of my solving.
The purchase price of the bond. Now first, let's list all the given. So we have F is equals to 100,000 bears 10%. So B is equals to 10% compounded semi-annually. So basically M is equals to 2 and is redeemable at 110%. So we have D is equals to 110% after 12 years. So basically we have D is equals to 12 years. If the purchaser wants a 9% yield, so we have Y is equals to 9% converted semi-annually. Also, we have to determine the purchase price of the bond. Again, to find the purchase price, we have P is equals to S times 1 plus I to the power of negative n plus R times F times 1 minus 1 plus I negative n over I. Now, again, since we have S, I, and R, let's find these values. We know that S is the redemption value. And the redemption value we have S is equals to F times D, or 1,000 times 110 years. So basically, it is 1.1, 1.10. So 100,000 times 1.10 is equals to 100,000, 110,000 pesos. Now our R is B over M. B over M is B is 10% over M is 2, basically 5% or 0.05. And we have our I, we have Y over M. Y is 9% over M is 2, basically that's 0.045. Now, Rn, or number of periods, we have 12 years, right? Tapos semi-annually. 12 times 2 is 24. Now, let's substitute these values into our formula. So P is equals to 110,000 times 1 plus 0.045 to the power of negative n. Our n is 24 plus r is 0.05 times f is 100,000 face value times 1 minus 1 plus I or 0.045 to the power of negative 24 over I 0.045. Now let's use our calculator to find the value of P. So we have 100 110,000 times 1 plus 0.045 to the power of negative 24 plus 0.05 times 100,000 times 1 sorry 1 minus 1 plus 0.045 to the power of negative 24 over 0.045. So we have purchase price of the bond is 110,724.77 or P is equals to 110,725 pesos. Ito na siya guys, pesos. This is now the value of the purchase price of the bond.
Now let's proceed to another concept, which is the bond premium and bond discount. So what is the difference of these two? When we say bond premium occurs when the purchase price of a bond is greater than its face value. Now, I'll give you a context for you to have a better understanding what is a bond premium. So, for example, my concert. Tapos, yung nabili mo na ticket is 1,000 pesos. And the 1,000 pesos is the face value, right? Now, someone wants to buy the ticket from you. And bibilhin niya yung ticket mo ng 1,500. Now, the 1,500 is the purchase price, di ba? So, meaning, mas malaki yung purchase price kaysa sa face value. Meaning, naka-income ka if ibibenta mo. May 500 pesos ka. That is the bond premium. So, we have a condition now, diba? As you can see, condition R is greater than I, where R is the coupon bond rate and I is the yield investment rate. Since the bond pays a higher interest than what investors currently require, investors are willing to pay more than the face value. Now, this is the formula for the bond premium. P is equals to S times R minus I times 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative n over I, where P is the bond premium, S is the redemption value, R is the coupon rate per period, I is yield rate per period, and N is the number of interest periods. Now, after we get the P or the bond premium, we will now uh, find the purchase price. We will now get the purchase price by this formula, which is P is equals to F plus P. Now, how about the bond discount? Now, when we say bond discount occurs when the purchase price is less than the face value. Now, let's have, diba, again, you have the 1,000 ticket. Now, in the bond discount, may gustong bumili ng ticket mo ng 800. So, mas mababa yung purchase price kaysa sa face value na 1,000. So, meaning, that is a bound discount. As you can see, the condition R is less than I. Since the bonds pays less interest than investors expect, they will only buy it at a lower price. Now, we have the formula. Q is equals to S times I minus R times 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative N over I, where Q is the bond discount. After we get the bond discount, we can now get the purchase price by the formula of P is equals to F minus Q. Now, let's have an example of this bond discount and the premium bond premium. First, you have the relationship. Pag purchase price, pag malaki si purchase price than the face value, it is premium. Sir, how about pag bibilin ng yung 1,000, bibilhin niya ng 1,000 din, edi, it is equal. So, par value yung tawag dun. If P is less than F, it is discount. Now, let's have an example problem.
We are
Now, in example 1, a 10,000 bond pays 10% interest compounded semi-annually and is redeemable at par after 12 years. If the bond is to yield 8% compounded semi-annually, find the bond premium and the value of the bond. Now,
asked to find the bond premium and the value of the bond. Now, first, let's list all the given. We have S is equals to 10,000 pesos and bond rate B is equals to 10% and yield rate is 8%. Since it is compounded semi-annually, so basically M is equals to 2 and is redeemable at par after 12 years. So D is equals to 12. If the Again, if the bond is 8% compounded, ito na yun, 8%. As you can observe, B is greater than Y. Now, let's find the value of R and I. R for coupon rate or the, yes, coupon rate, B over M, 10% over 2. Basically, it is 5% or 0.05. Our I or the yield rate is 8% over 2 is equals to 4% or 0.04. As you can observe, R is greater than I, right? So it is bond premium. And the value of the formula for bond premium, we have P is equals to S R minus I times 1 minus 1 plus I negative N over I. Now, what is our n first? N is equals to 12 years times 2 is equals to 24. So we have our n is equals to 24. Let's substitute these values into our formula. P is equals to Rs is 10,000 times R is 0.05 minus 0.04 times 1 minus 1 plus 0.04 minus Rn is 24 over 0.04 Ri. Now let's substitute to our let's calculate using our scientific calculator. 10,000 times 0.05 minus 0.04, 1 minus 1, 1 plus 0.04 to the power of negative 24, 0.04. Hala, what happened? Dapat 0. Hmm, oh wait, let's check the values. Ayun oh, yun. Make sure that you input the correct value. Ayun, we have PR is 1,524.69 or 70. This is our P. Now, to find the value of the bond, since this is our first problem, is to us define the bond premium or the value of P. This is 1,524.70 cents, 7 cents. Sorry. So we can now find the value of the bond. The value of the bond is V is equals to the redemption value plus P or the 1524.70. V is equals to S plus P. Now, this is basically 11,524.70. This is the value of the bond, and this is the value of the bond premium. In example 2,
Now we have an example 2. A 20,000 bond pays 6% interest compounded semi-annually and is redeemable at par after 15 years. If the bond is to yield 8% compounded semi-annually, find the bond discount, the value of the bond. Now,
whereas to find the bond discount and the value of the bond. Now first let us list down the given. So we have given S is equals to 20,000. Bond rate is B is equal to 6%. Y is equals to 8%. Since M is compounded semi-annually, so meaning M is 2, redeemable at par after 15 years, so D is equals to 15 years. Basically, our N is 15 times 2, so 30. Now, let's find the R and the I. Ri is P over M, and P is 6% over 2, so 3% or 0.03. And I is Y over M. Y is 8% over 2, basically 4%, 0.04. We have these values. Now let's substitute to our formula of the bond discount since we will find the bond discount. Q, sorry, Q is equals to S times I minus R, 1 minus 1 plus I, level of negative N over I. Now let's substitute. Q is equals to S is 20,000 times I is 0.04 minus rate is 0.03 times 1 minus 1 plus 0.04 to the power of negative 30, negative 30 over 0.04. Now let's use our calculator. 20,000 times 0.04 minus 0.03 times 1 minus 1 plus 0.04 to the power of negative 30. We have 0.04. So we have our fund discount is 34,058. I mean 3,458.41. Now let's find the value of the bond. Value of the bond. The value of the bond is V is equals to S minus Q since it is discount. So V is equals to S 20,000 minus 3,458.41. So we have minus 3,458.41. So we have V is equals to 16,541.59. This is the value of the bond, and this is the bond discount.
Now, that is how we find the bond premium and bond discount, and also its value of the bond. Now, let's proceed to another concept, which is the amortization of premium. Amortization of premium is the gradual reduction of the bond premium over the life of the bond when a bond is purchased at a purchase price or book value that is greater than the redemption value during each period. A portion of the coupon payment FR is used to recover the premium, causing the book value of the bond to decrease gradually until it equals the redemption value on the redemption date. Now, key symbols, we have V is the book value of the bond. We can get the book value by V is equals to S plus P, where S is the redemption value, P is the bond premium, and F is face value, R is the periodic coupon rate, I is the yield rate per interest period, P is the bond premium, FR is the coupon payment, and N is the total number of interest period. Now we will still use the bond premium formula. Now let's have an example. Since when we say amortization of premium, it is a gradual reduction of the bond premium papunta sa kanyang redemption value. Sige, let's have a context to have you a better understanding. Uh, for example, you will buy a shoes. Today, today the shoes is worth 12,000, 50,000 kasi ano siya kanang branded tapos unique nag-iisa. Isa pa siya dito sa Pilipinas kaya mahal. 50,000. Pero lumipas ang 5 taon, bumabalik siya doon sa original price na redemption value na niya, 25,000. So from 50 to 25. So nagiging gradual na reduction of bond premium. So that is the amortization of premium. Now
Now,
let's have an example. A 10,000 bond with 8% annual interest payable semi-annually is redeemable at par at the end of 2 years. The bond is purchased to yield 6% compounded semi-annually. Construct the amortization schedule of premium.
our problem is to construct the amortization schedule of premium, but we cannot construct the amortization table or amortization schedule without finding the premium uh, and the book value. So let's find first. Let's list all the given first before we can find the premium value and the book value. So we have S is equals to 10,000 pesos. We have bond rate of 8% since it is annual interest, payable semi-annually, so M is equals to 2, redeemable at par at the end of 2 years, so we have D is equals to 2. The bond is purchased to yield 6%, so we have Y is equals to 6% semi-annually. Construct amortization. Sige. Let's find the value of R. So R is B over M, 8% over 2, 0.04. We have I is Y over M basically 6% over M at 2, so 3%, 0.03. Since we have N, M times D is 2 times 2 equals to 4. Now let's substitute these values into the premium formula. Find first the bond premium. Formula is P is equals to S times R minus I times 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative N over I. Now let's substitute. S is 10,000 times R is 0.04 minus 0.03 times 1 minus 1 plus 0.03 to the power of negative 4 over 0.03. Now let's use our calculator. So we have 10,000 0.04 minus 0.03, 1 minus 1 plus 0.03 of negative 4 We have 0, 0, 3. So we have our bond premium is 371.71. Now let's find the value of the book value. So find the book value. So the book value is to be is equals to S plus P, right? Basically 10,000 plus 371.71. So we have 10,371.71. Now let's construct the amortization table. Now in amortization table, amortization of premium. I hope it is visible. So first is end period. We have yield, coupon, credit to premium, and book value. Let's focus to this table. Okay, bam. Now, end period. So we have 4 years, right? Since 2 times 2 by 2 years, tapos semi-annually. So 4. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Next. Now we know that our book value is this 10,371.71. Now to get the yield, we have book value times the value of I. So we have 0.03. So basically we have 10,371.71 times I is 0.03. So we have 300, sorry, dito pala, 311.15. That is for period 1. Coupon is F times R. Well, our face value or the in the amortization of premium face value is equal to the redemption value. So we have 10,000. 10,000 times R is 0.04. So we have 400. Now, credit to premium, we have yield minus coupon. So basically, 3, 4, 3, no. FR, sorry pala. FR, so basically, coupon minus yield, sorry. So 400 minus 311.15, basically 88.85. Now, to know what is the new book value, we have our old book value 10,371.71 plus minus, since it is decreasing pala, minus the credit to premium 88.85. This is 10,282.86. Same process, book value times the I. 10 to 82.86 times I is 0.03 This is now our period 2 na yield. 49. Coupon, it's still 400. And 400 minus 308.49, we have 91.51. To get the new book value, let's subtract to 10,282.86 minus 91.51. We have 10,191.35. So for period 3, 10,191.35 times 0.03, this is now 305.74. 400, if we subtract this to 400, so we have 94.26, and 10191.35 minus 94.26, we got the new book value, 09. Now for period 4, same process, answer times 0.03, we have 302.91. Same 400, 400 minus 302.91, we have 97.1. Now 10,097.09 minus 97.1, we have, oh my god, 9,999.99, or basically it is, so I round up po si nag-round up mo lang sa 97.09, dapat magiging 10,000 ito, ganyan. So basically ito mababalik, it will go back to the original redemption value, which is the 10,000. This is how to construct an amortization of premium table.
Now, to have a better table to see, this is the end period. So we have for yield, coupon, credit to premium, and the book value. The book value is this is the premium, tapos nagiging gradually siya bumababa hanggang the original na ano tawag doon na
Now,
ano redemption value. Yes. So ito yung mga steps. For each period, compute yield is equals to book value times I. Coupon is equals to F times R. Credit to premium is equals to coupon minus yield. And new book value is the old book value minus the credit to premium. So I think that's all for today. We will end this class. Thank you for listening. Sorry, my camera is off. I don't know why, but thank you for listening and have a God bless.